Hello, my abnormal family. Y'all know I do not do this very often and sometimes don't even like to do it, but I'm going to ask for a favor from you guys, from my family at the Abnormal Investigations. This is simply a request for a favor, and I would appreciate it if y'all could do this. It'll be simple, won't cost you a thing, just a little bit of time. We're working really hard on our outdoor channel, Wide Open Adventures. It has good content, I believe, and we would like to ask you guys to come over, subscribe, select the bell, and select all. We're trying to do some things for Hunter on that channel since that was Hunter's channel. I don't think that you will regret it. We're going to have some good lives coming up over there. We're getting some guests lined up, really good guests, some that you may even know from TV series. So a lot of things we're working on, a lot of big names, and hopefully it will all come through. But we would like to see you all come over, subscribe, select all, join us in chat over there, give us your opinions, and share some of your ideas, your outdoor ideas, some of your knowledge. We would really love that, guys. We really would. So that is my favor I'm asking to my abnormal family. I will put the link to that channel in the description of this video. Thank you all so very much, and let's get into this one. Mike, this happened just a few days ago. I know, it sounds really weird, and it sounds really scary. And it was very scary. It was very scary to us, for sure. You see, we went horseback riding. And what happened honestly scared the hell out of me. I know the title of this story, it sounds rather absurd, but we were chased by werewolves while horseback riding. But I'm not here to force any of you into believing this story. Rather, I just want it to be heard. My name is Bill, and I've been holding on to this story for several months now. It all started in the spring of this year, 2025. My sister owns a ranch, not a farm, not far from where I live, and her favorite pastime is riding horses. Horses have been her passion, excuse me, ever since she could talk. And when she began her journey as a horse trainer, she begged me to experience what it was like riding a horse. I have ridden horses here and there, but don't ride as much as she does. For the sake of this story, I will call her May. I visited her ranch in the spring to catch up as I had been out of town for most of the winter. It was fun. My other younger sister, who we'll call Emma, also came. We had breakfast, coffee, and helped May with her ranch duties. Sorry, I got allergies today, guys. Now, around the ranch, there is a large patch of forest that spans from acres, and there are designated horse trails in those woods. The most dangerous thing in those woods are foxes. But foxes obviously don't go after horses. At least, we thought those were the most dangerous things in the woods. Despite not really wanting to, May and Emma convinced me to go horseback riding with them on the trails. Sure, it's fun to go horseback riding, but I guess I just felt off that day and didn't want to. But I caved to my sister because she is my youngest sister and is used to always getting her way. We got our horses and saddled them up, or May showed us how to saddle them up. May was riding a horse named Willow, Emma was riding a horse named Biscuit, and I was riding a horse named Ace. I don't know what type of horse they are. All I can say is that Willow was sort of a whitish color, Biscuit was a light brown and beige, and Ace was black except for a white star on his forehead. Always we take them out of the gate and start walking on the trails. I noticed something was wrong. The forest was extremely quiet, and the hairs on my neck were standing on end. I had chills despite the weather being fairly warm. I don't think my sisters noticed anything was wrong, as they kept on moving and chatting. Eventually May asked me, "Are you okay, Bill? You've been awfully quiet today." I struggled to control Ace, taking a moment to respond. "Yeah, just a bit uncomfortable is all." My sister's eyes looked at me suspiciously, but I think they chalked it up to me just being inexperienced on a horse. We went on the trails for another 20 to 30-ish minutes. I'd say before we came across something on the side of the trails lay a mass. It was fabric. As we passed by, we stopped our horses and looked down with curiosity to check it out. They were clothes in the middle of the forest. 2 red shirts, a black shirt, and 2 brown shirts. A little ways away was a pair of old blue shorts. And I thought, what the hell? I remember saying out loud as we leaned down to investigate, clothes in the middle of the forest? We'd never seen this before. Did you lose your clothes out there, May? Emma asked, and May shook her head with wide eyes. No, I've never seen these before. The clothes looked as if they were placed there fairly recent. There wasn't much dirt or anything on them. Hesitantly, we pressed forward. I think we were all slightly uneasy now. So, I brought up the back with a weird silence in the woods. May, is it always so quiet out here? She shook her head but didn't respond. The sun was setting, and the large trees were casting eerie shadows along the trails that just freaked us out even more. In hindsight, I realized it was stupid to continue on, and I should have said something way before the end, when we saw the clothes. But I didn't want to ruin my sister's fun. Eventually, we began discussing heading back as the sun continued setting. We didn't want to be out here after dark, especially if intruders were running around. As we were discussing, May's horse, which was in front, Willow, stopped and began to back up. Then so did our horses. They began neighing and acting like they were afraid and scared, and their muscles went tense. Their tails whipped in every direction. May, I asked, what is happening? Emma yelled. They're panicked, May responded. I only got a glance of what made them panic, walking out from the dark forest, maybe 10 feet away from us. It was a massive wolf. It had pure black fur and had what looked like large yellow eyes, almost the size of our horses, if not slightly smaller. It didn't get much of a glance at them, because our horses were already running in different directions. I struggled to hold on Ace, and I could hear my sister also panicking, but their voices were quickly drowned out by the sound of heavy footsteps. I looked to my left, and I could just barely see that wolf keeping up with us as we was riding hard. The thing didn't even look tired. It was easily keeping up with us, and it was starting to catch up to me, and it was staring right at me, like it had no care for the horse, which would have certainly provided it with more food. I felt the most primal fear that I've ever felt as I saw this thing dart in and out of the shadows. The whole chase might have been 5 minutes, but it felt like an eternity. It did not chase us in a straight direction. It would almost try to head us off, but it would run from shadow to shadow, as if it knew to run to the shadows. It was kind of weird to watch. Every shadow, every bush, every tree, it would zigzag to that position to go out of sight. We broke the tree line and looked back, expecting to see the wolf also break it, but it didn't. I struggled to stop Ace, who was still intent on running from the forest. I saw them also come out of the tree line together. Emma had tears coming from her eyes, and May looked horrified. Once we put our horses back, we went inside and asked if they were okay. They were my younger sisters after all. They didn't talk about the encounter that night. They mostly just sat there and cried. These things stood at the edge of the forest, and I'm so glad they did not chase us across the open pasture. But we did end up splitting up, and I had to ask, what happened to you guys when we got split up? May explained that when Willow ran, she saw 2 giant wolves chasing after her, and they seemed to be hurting her, until one of them eventually broke off from the chase. Emma then explained that she was also chased by one of those giant wolves, which to me implies that the other one broke off from chasing May and began to chase Emma, while the last one was chasing me. That thought horrifies me. When we broke the tree line, they also stopped being chased, which tells me that they just wanted us out of their territory, I'm guessing. But the horses were still shook up for several days after that. Horses are also extremely acute animals, and the fact that they didn't sense these wolves till the last minute indicates that they weren't normal animals. I'm just glad my sisters and I got out safely, because if those things wanted us, they could have killed us. And whenever you look back and you see a large black wolf walking on its hind legs just as well as us, you know you're dealing with a werewolf. You know, I think they don't go into the opening not because they were trying to run you out of their territory. I believe that you all were definitely on the menu that day along with the horses. I don't have any doubt about that. They don't like going into the opening because if they go into the open, it exposes them. And whenever they're exposed, they don't have shadows, they don't have things to hide behind, they don't have ambush points. So at that point, they can be shot, they can be hurt, they can be killed. And I think they know that. And I think that's why they do not pursue into the open, because they also don't like photos of them. They don't like to be captured on camera. So I think they have learned to hunt the tree lines and to hunt the woods. So glad y'all made it to the clearing. It's almost as if that was the boundary that saved you guys. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. Until next time, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner. And if you would, please go click on that link now, subscribe, and ring the bell for all. We would sure appreciate that. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.